by the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Marty, for the minutes, the board would conduct an executive session for this meeting to discuss personnel matters. Also, please note that Commissioner Malinowski will be absent from tonight's meeting. At this time, we'll conduct our first public presentation for those who have signed in, and we do have a number of residents. First is Peggy Downey of 929 Laurel Lee Avenue.
That would be me.
Okay, if you come up to the microphone, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sure all of you got notes from me that you should have, as to what is going on our street. And have any of you gone out to check it at all? You have, okay, well, you know, it's not very good.
Right.
Right, it's been bad for a long while. Well, Jeremy Garl, I've been back and forth, but over 2 years ago I fell, okay? Now I have a tiny little dog, and I was I took her to training, walk on facing traffic along the curb, and that's where it's all rough. You know, so I fell one time, but since that time, I've been doing exercises. You have to watch every step, or else you fall again. Anyway, as you know, it was more than just me that has fallen since then. I gave you notes. I appreciate the fact that you went and checked it. And anyway, I don't know what much to say, except I have been informed by Jeremy Garl now that they're gonna mill the streets, our whole street this month, along the curb where they have it painted already. He has it all painted, and it's supposed to be totally done this month in September. And then he said, he spoke to the water authority, and that next year, 2025, I don't know when in 2025, that they're gonna put in a new water main, which all the way down the street. That is why he kept saying, well, he didn't want to fix the street because of that happening. But now the 2 blocks that go down towards the river, they're not like that. And he also at one time told me, well, when they do something in our neighborhood, which was Whitner Road last year, same block as us, and they didn't do ours. So consequently, I think since you got a note from everybody in the neighborhood, there's no one that didn't sign it. There's 14 houses there. And they all signed that they want a new street. So, anyway, the milling's to be done, but Jeremy said to talk to the water authority. And like I said, next year, they're gonna put a new water main in, and then he is gonna repave the whole street. Been trying for a couple of years. Okay, but that's about all I have to say. Hopefully, they'll carry through with that. I think he will, because it's all painted pink where they're gonna go along the curb. So I'm hoping finally, maybe we'll accomplish what I've been trying to for so long. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. If I could say a few words.
Pardon?
If I could say a few words. The township has 2 board members that are currently on the board of the Muhlenberg Township Authority.
Okay,
Yeah, we knew that Laurel Lee was in bad shape for years. And there are a lot of things that need to be done with the water and sewer folks in the township. But we're now getting bids on replacing the 6-inch main in Laurel Lee.
okay,
It's a lot of money. We're looking to get the best bid. Hopefully, we might be able to get that done before the end of the year.
oh, okay,
Now, the question is, that will then have to be resurfaced because we're not gonna be doing the whole street for next spring.
okay.
So it's not gonna look beautiful
No, but
until next year. But just so you know, we made a priority for the Muhlenberg Township Authority to replace that main.
I appreciate that. I really do. And hopefully, I hope it'll work out now, that, hopefully, but it really, you have to watch every step. Cause I walk along the curb and I've been doing exercises for balance and everything, so they don't fall again, because I had 2 knee replacements, I had tickets of a time trying to get up. So anyway, but it jolts you when you fall, and then you don't know do I have any broken bones or not. But anyway, thankfully, I hope things are gonna be fixed now, and I appreciate your time.
I think what the shooter just got done saying, hearing the word going for it, probably could start maybe November, with the word like, why the streets that bad, the gas company put gas lines in there.
Yeah.
They didn't replace it, when they put the gas lines in, they didn't repave the whole street, that's why the street's the way it is.
I
So I
see,
think what 4 or 5 years ago, with the gas lines on that street.
okay. Well, anyway, hopefully now it'll be a lot safer for everybody to walk,
Thank you. Thank you.
okay?
Thank you. Next we have Joseph Garpoli. Address is listed as FCE.
Joe Gurnell, I'm for a later thing on the agenda for this.
That's fine, thank you. Next is Wilkins Ariana.
Good evening. Today I'm here to express a situation that is been happening on the 500 block of Euclid Avenue. I bought a property there like a year ago. And ever since, there's a company across the street from my house called Cobra Anchors. Ever since they started to knock on my door daily, the truck drivers. And so I went to the office and tried to explain the situation and everything. But they were not really looking to work with me at all. And so their dock is basically facing my living room. And so from week to week per se, or every other day, the truck drivers will come into my property. They keep hitting the rocks because there were rocks laid there from the owner before me. So the situation is getting to the point where they hit a rock and left it on top of the sewer system, which is it's either damaged or it's about to be damaged. When I went there, they were not in the attitude of working with me or anything. Basically what he told me straight to my face was, we have good relationship with the city. You can do whatever you want. That was his exact word. So after that, I said, okay, I left. And so then this week I realized that they also got granted the parking lot. When I bought this property, I was counting on being able to park in front of my house as well as the backyard. But now they also got approved for the parking lot on my side also. So I can't park, or I won't be able to park there in the morning and I understand they keep saying that, it's only a few hours during the day. But whatever happens, whatever happened before, it happened during working hours. You only need like an hour or 30 minutes for something to go wrong. The minute that one of those trucks goes straight into my home or something, it's gonna be an event. So it's something that I think you guys should look at because that property is so big, they could do like many different ways. They have like such a big parking lot. They could have trucks in an angle, but they block the street completely. The guy told me, yeah, it's because we grew so much over time. And we used to have really small trucks, but now we have big trucks. I guess that was his way of explaining to me that it's okay to have trucks blocking the road. You can clearly see, if you go there in the morning, you can clearly see the road blocked and people trying to pass and they cannot pass and stuff like that. So that's basically what I'm here for. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, do you know who you spoke to back over?
It seems to be the manager. I had to wait for him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know we've dealt with the Cobra issue multiple times over the years. You know, we've worked as hard as I think we can to try to find a solution for the residents and for the business. And I know at one time we did discuss directly with Cobra, it was the size of the trucks coming in. You know, they were working to have smaller delivery trucks come in. A lot of times that is out of their hands. As far as shipments and things coming in. I know that Cobra has extended the offer for residents to park on their lot. Basically at any time, you know, especially during the working hours, with the restrictions that are in place, so. I'm sorry that they were dismissive of your conversation. I'll see if we can maybe reach out, at least having a conversation with Cobra, just to let them know that, you know, we're trying to find the best solutions for that particular area. I mean, Cobra has, you know, I found them willing partners in the past, but I'm disheartened to hear that they just were dismissive of having, you know, thank you.
One of the other issues that we had was trucks can come very early in the morning. I'm talking like 4 or 5 a.m.
It's still on.
and they would then have their engines running, in that time. That's a problem.
It's still very loud. They normally work with the gates open, so the noise comes out like really hard also. It's kind of like a situation that it's good to look into it deeply so you can understand. If you go there during working hours, if you stand there, you will get a better feel for it, because there's multiple things going on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had,
One of the problems was they didn't know when the trucks were coming. The trucks were coming from very far away, so that truck driver might have left early in the morning to get there. And they weren't even aware that that person was going to be there for the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we work that out.
They work
I didn't hear any-
3 shifts, sorry. They work 3 shifts, they know when the trucks are parked out there. They go out to breaks and lunch and smoke breaks, they see the trucks out there. They're not doing anything about it. Cobra's not doing a thing about it. They're saying about 8 to 4, there was a truck out there this morning at 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, 7:20, the gate didn't open until 8:25. And so. So they literally have a truck out there parked for an hour and a half, yeah, I'm sorry, hour and 5 minutes. They know.
Was he idling or was he sleeping in his cab? Cause I do live up the street, I see that they get there pretty early in the morning, but I think they sleep in their cab.
So, it's out here, take a picture, you make it all.
Okay. Thank you.
all right, we do have a number of residents, I'm from Euclid, I'm signing to speak, so I'm gonna kind of jump here just to bring all the residents up at one time. That is succession, I should say, so we can stay on topic with this particular issue. And you'll pardon the cheaters here, Wilfredo Torrado,
That's me.
sure, come on up.
Once again, what Wilson was talking about, everything about the big yellow line, this came to a surprise, we didn't get no notice, nothing. It's like this was all a hush hush, like you guys had it under the table between Cobra and the commission committee. So that's like the way I'm taking it. So we never got notice of saying, hey, there's gonna be no parking here, what's gonna happen and everything. They did put, no parking on the other side. And they still park there, you have trucks there in the morning, what's the weight capacity for these trucks? These grounds can give out, next thing you know, we're gonna have what, sinkhole in our property? And stuff like that, on the streets, because you have to allow 3 or 4 trucks to park out there, wait for the train to come in. If you're saying that the time zone is gonna be from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, but then that truck, if he has an 8 o'clock appointment, he should be no earlier than 7:45 to check in, back his truck in, and do his thing there. And stuff, if it's not to be parked out there for an hour and a half, if I can't park out there, what makes it right for them to park out there? And they're talking about industrial trucks, 53-footer with extended cab. So that truck's way too big for that street. And I work with trucks at my job, so I know what the footage are. And the one that came in today was a custom-made extended cab. So I have a picture where only one car can come around the other side, which is leading to a blind side. So if someone's coming down the street on Euclid, heading to Fifth Street Highway, he has to cross over to the left side, which can cause an accident for the one car that has the right to come out. My main concern is who's gonna be reliable for the damage on my sewer pipes, when the truck keeps running on top of my property and my lawn and grass and everything, who's reliable for that? You guys?
No, the truck company that caused the damage is
So
responsible.
then, okay, how do we determine that? If I'm at work, I can't tell you which truck ran over it.
Do you know when it happened?
I'm telling you in the future, I have a car parked now, Sunday.
So if you know when it happened, you go to Cobra Anchors and you tell them that one of their trucks damaged your sewer.
Oh, what they're gonna say? We don't know which one did it.
They're not gonna say that.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They did it.
Matter of fact, we had 4 employees in that company. My wife was over there, my neighbors, and they were laughing at them. Oh, wait till the signs come up. They thought it was a joke.
I think you're talking to the wrong people that. I can put you in touch with the right people that are going to resolve that problem.
Well, no,
That's why to Commissioner Lurch's
okay,
point, we haven't had issue, we've had a very good working relationship with the people at Cobra, because maybe because we're working with Pay Olympus and nobody else is.
well, then you were, I don't know who it is you're working with, somebody got paid at the table to put that line out there. So someone took a bribe to put a yellow line out there, so I don't know who it is, I don't know if it's this whole group. But otherwise, I was there 17 years. And then we never had this issue. I had my car parked there. The reason I had my car parked there, I got tired of these trucks getting on my property, running over my sewage line. When that breaks, I'm reliable to pay for it. I don't got 20,000 or 25,000 to dig it out and get it fixed. You guys go home and sleep at night real good. I'm glad you all sleep good. I don't, I have to hear that noise across the street. They say that they're allowed to have the doors open till 9 o'clock at night. Around the corner, they have a door that's open 24 hours now. And they're still running to press the machines. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And so, it's like everything you guys do is for the company, not for the residents. And if we're supposed to be residents, then that yellow line should be that we should be allowed to park in front of our home that we purchased. That's a residential property line for us. We should be able to have the rights to park there. I give them plenty of space to get to back their trucks in. It's not my fault if they're bringing a 53-footer in for extended, cab. That's something that the Cobra can also call this to their dispatch and say, hey, look, tell your dispatch, I can't take no more of a 48-footer. And so they can do that. They just don't choose to because these guys private drivers, these guys own their own their trailers. My main concern, and everybody else that here that lives on 500 block, is who's gonna be reliable for the damages. But I cannot stress over, if that pipe breaks, and my sewage line, my laundry water, I can't take a bath because the water can't go out to the line because it's all clogged, it's coming back into my house. So I have to wait in the middle of the night to see this in my basement. Bad enough we deal with the floods when we have a real bad storm on that street. It's better we have to deal with the water coming into our homes in our basement. Have some consideration and some heart, and think about the people that do pay taxes, that work hard and stuff, that come here to make their homes look nice, to make the township look nice. When I moved out here to put my family in here to have a good living place, good education, and everything, they have to stress about, violence and crime. But you're making it seem like Cobra is your one priority, and the hell with everybody else that lives in that block. And that's how I'm taking it.
So,
Can we set up a meeting with Cobra? Yeah, there should have been a meeting with Cobra and us before this whole thing had started. I would have loved to have a meeting with Cobra. We could have came to some kind of agreement. Okay, I'm okay with 8 to 4 if you want to have the trucks and everything, but my question is, at the end of the day, who's going to be responsible for the damage on the sewage line?
The company and the trucking company.
Yeah, that's-
But I'm not gonna know who ran over it. If you have 5 trucks coming on my property, which one of the 5?
The liability falls on whatever truck company or truck driver
Which
caused
one?
the damage. And I can tell you that, that's something that you need to sort out privately with Cobra.
They might not have it that day. It could be a process. They could work today, run over next week. It could take a couple of weeks before, or a couple of months. We're not gonna know who did it, so you can't tell me, charge the company. Well, we're not gonna know, because it could be months in advance. The pipes already, vented already, because they're running over it. When I first moved there, I had this much of a gap between the two lines. Now they're together. They're like kissing. See, it takes time. I'm sorry, it takes time. We're not gonna know who damaged it. I'm sorry.
I understand, I'm just giving you direction that
Yeah.
that's the individual that would be responsible for the
Okay,
Cobra.
and I answered your question, which means no.
no, we're not gonna know who, we're not gonna know who, which company, and what, when, what time, what day, what month, what year, we're not gonna know. It's something that, it's not gonna just happen overnight.
Mr. Torado, thank you. I think we've established the answer to the question. I think at this point, another meeting with Cobra is in order. Yeah, set something up.
I wanna say that we take full responsibility. A notice should have went out. I live right up the street on Columbia. I only have on-street parking, so I understood that, you know, this would be a disservice to some residents from 8 to 4. But I don't think that that entire block was supposed to be painted yellow without some type of notice going out. And I originally thought that it was only supposed to be signs. So I think there's some miscommunication here and we're gonna have to look into it. But I think the happy medium and the compromise on our end was, you know, telling Cobra, hey, look, 8 to 4, we could do no parking on, you know, these 5 houses in the middle of the block.
Well, 90%,
Say that again?
90%, about 90% of the blocks.
Yeah, it's only the top 2 houses and the bottom 1 house aren't supposed to be inhibited in any way, so. Yeah.
And just for the record, I just wanna make it clear that the ordinance that you enacted was advertised pursuant to law. So it was advertised properly. There's no requirement to give individual property owner notice of that kind of ordinance. So the township did comply with the law in advertising that.
Yes, but morally, we could have done a little bit more.
All right, well, we do have a number of other residents who'd like to speak on this. Mr. Torado, thank you.
Well, now, how about having them, or, hire a security guard or someone that can manage the trucks down getting on the property?
We'll have to bring these things up in the meeting with them, but listen, I agree and I'm hearing what you're saying. I agree, when I drive down that street and it's no parking on that entire block at Cobra, on the other side where the business is, and the truck is parked there. You know, they should be parking up on 6th Ave, on the Cobra side of the business. They have a large parking lot. I don't know if those trucks can cut that. But there has to be other options.
If vehicles parked illegally on the road, the police can enforce.
The trucks are parking illegally. They are. They get there early in the morning and then the extended cabs, I mean, the truck drivers are arriving early and then they sleep in their cab or sit there or whatever.
And
they
well,
do.
the council not doing anything about it, we had.
Well, they need to call, so when you see it, you have to call them, even if it's the non-emergency line. And you call them in and they'll respond. They'll be cited or they'll be told.
Those who signed in will have a chance to speak. We'll have another public session later in the meeting. Let's,
Who can I talk to about putting a post, one of those, plastic cover posts in my ground to put it up so the trucks don't come on it? Who can I get the okay for that?
You talk to code.
Oh, it's Scott, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
You can apply.
I didn't see it.
Zoning permit, yeah, and discuss, put in dollars.
Okay, you know, those plastic posts, about the road, at least can I put one in there to avoid, you know, come onto my property and everything that cover, protect my sewage. So I'll talk to you about that.
Yes,
Am I okay with doing that and stuff?
yes, you need to talk to us to show us your location where you're putting them, and then obviously, when you got your permit, you do an 811 call, make sure you're not even for anything.
So I'll talk to you then, I'll call you, I'll come stop by your office to talk to you about it. Are you ready to go tomorrow? Can I talk to you tomorrow, later on today before we go? Well, I mean, I think I can.
Yeah, we have-
My contact.
you have it.
I had a card, but, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Before you leave
And we have Mr. Torado's contact information here.
there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Noel Shipper. Yes. 500 you put out of it.
They got cameras, I thought that one, they can't use their cameras. Oh, yeah. That's good.
So just kind of tagging along with everything that's been said so far. Again, you walk up 500 Euclid Ave, or I'm on 500, you walk up Euclid Avenue, you can look at any given point in anybody's yard. Not the grass strip along the curb, the actual yard. And you're gonna see tire tracks in somebody's yard because they continually come up and go into the yard. So it's not just the grass, it's not just the sidewalk, it's actually their tractor trailers are coming into the yards. So what he said is a problem. And it's just, it's constant. We've had, I'm on the corner, we've had our curb in the corner's been broken already before in the past, significant years ago, but it's happened. I mean, it's a problem. And I don't understand why nobody is really taking this, like it's an issue. I'm sorry, when I go to work, I have to have the skills to do my job. These truck drivers need to be trained to get into the location they need to get into. There are a couple drivers that can get into these docks like that. They come in, they back up, they get in, they turn their cab, traffic can go up and down the street. And then you have the majority of the drivers that come in there and they're just playing around like they're new drivers on the road. Can't get in for crap. They're playing around, doing this, doing that, huffing and puffing. God forbid, they can't get in to save their lives. If you can't do the job, you shouldn't be doing the job. I'm sorry, if that's the issue, get a smaller truck. This is a residential area. It is not industrial. If it's not industrial, you need to be able to either get in there or get something that can. Because like they've said, the roads are not meant for these big rigs to be in there. The weight capacity is not there. The size of the roads is not there. Why should we as homeowners have to suffer because you can't do your job? I can't go to work and not do my job and expect somebody to cater to me. It's not fair. And it's just, it's constant. It is constant. And the same thing like they've also said with the idling. That side of the street has been no parking for as long as I can remember. Does that stop them? No. They come in, they idle, they wait till their dock is open. This can be a matter of 5 minutes, sometimes it's an hour and a half. Nobody cares. That's okay. So if they can do that, can I come park at my yellow line while I'm stopping at my house? Because apparently that doesn't matter. Temporary parking, right? They can do it on their side, I can do it on my side. But no, the cop's gonna come out and ticket me. I'm gonna get towed because they're gonna have an issue with it because I'm hindering them from doing their job. But God forbid I call them on their truck sitting there. Cop's gonna say, they're doing their job. They're just waiting to get in, let them come. Because it's happened before. That's how I know that's what's gonna be the answer. We've called the cops before. They've come out eventually and say, you know what? He's just waiting. It's cold, it's hot out, it's cold out. He's sitting in his cab. He needs the air conditioner on, he needs the heat on. Just let him go. He'll be gone soon. Oh, okay. Well, that's all I'm gonna do too. I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna have some lunch, run a few errands, I'll be back and forth, but don't ticket me then, because this is how we're gonna play that game. Fair is fair. Pick and choose.
Look, I think we all hear your frustration. Being sarcastic is not gonna improve the situation.
It's not sarcasm, it's how we actually live.
And we hear you.
But do you? Because this is how it's been going for years. 38 years we've been on this block and this is how it keeps going.
Can I ask a question? Are all the residents here use the bottom 3 houses on the block?
Yes.
So, like the woman that has the S10, the loading dock that's closer to 6th Ave, they did widen up that apron, so the trucks have more than enough room to kind of cut in. Are they running over grass up on the top side of the street, or is it primarily the bottom
It's the
3
top
houses?
side too.
They did.
They hit a car.
They hit her truck. And when the cop come out, took the report, he said you should have been upfront. That's the reason. You
Okay.
can't dissuade.
I'm just making sure, so it's the whole block,
It is
it's
the
not
whole
just
block. Actually,
localized to
where
the
I
bottom
live-
dock.
I am on my corner. There isn't a loading dock. There, the one that's further down, they actually use 5th Avenue to back in and out and have no problem. So why we're blocked off from parking and included.
You weren't supposed to be, and we did notice that your house got painted yellow and it wasn't supposed to be, so that's gonna get resolved as well.
So,
We're the ones that get the worst of it.
yeah,
First of it. We're that small.
Yeah.
That small gate, the door.
they get the brunt and then there's another house a little further up who's not here tonight that also gets, the one where the car got hit. They get another brunt.
Thank you all for your concerns.
What happened to that car? Who paid for that car then?
Well, they told her that she should have parked up a little further. And she got responsible for that. She did.
You wanna chime in or you wanna look into any of that?
Sure, do you have her name?
I know the daughter's name is Shaw, I can talk to her, the lady's daughter's name is Shaw.
Did it fill police report out, you know, they did that?
I don't know, you spoke about like some,
We have to verify all that, 'cause I don't.
yeah, I know, I'm just not a supervisor.
All right, if we could get the specifics regarding the particular incident and the individual involved. If you could email that, you either email that to me, at my township email address, there's a link on the township web page, if you'd like to email it directly to Mr. Mulvick, we'll look into that further.
And the other concern that we have is that with them they already blocked the streets significantly, as you said, you've seen. If they're given free reign of that street to idle and park and wait, it blocks emergency services. We've already seen it happen. It blocks school buses. We've seen that happen. It blocks BART buses that are trying to get to either the apartments. There are a lot of elderly and disabled in our area. We've seen, I think actually there's a video of the BART bus having to do a U-turn trying to get there. The BART bus doesn't wait. It has very little patience, special services. It does not wait because they're on time restraint. The school bus is usually designated to pick up children at a certain side of the street. Now they have to cross the street, go in front and behind the bus to get their kids if they have to do a U-turn around the block. If you have to get to our fire hydrant and there's a tractor trailer here or here, how do they get there? They're blocked. That inhibits them from getting to any emergency services in that area that uses that hydrant. And it happens. We've seen them block things consistently, and no one does anything.
Thank you, Ms. Schiffer. There's also Carol Schiffer.
Hello, thank you. All right,
Carol, you're at the same address?
500
Euclid?
yes. Okay, the original factory was built in the 1920s when this area was basically farmlands and orchards. Some of the farmland was purchased in the 50s by a developer who proceeded to build all the homes in the 500 block of Euclid Avenue. At some point then, the area was now rezoned to R4, medium density residential or something. And the factory building, although it was industrial, was grandfathered in. And it's actually now in an R4 zone. Cobra is now attempting to encroach further on the R4 zoned area of our homes by extremely limiting the parking on this residential street. The history of the problem at hand is prior to June 17th, 2024, Jim Bobak was probably the manager at Cobra, apparently privately approached.
That's me,
Okay. Well, all right. You apparently had a private meeting in regards to limiting the parking on Euclid Avenue to accommodate truck deliveries. So without research and input from the residents of this 500 blocks, the solicitor was authorized to advertise the ordinance to limit parking. If, when, and how this was done is questionable. In this day, tech age, newspapers are really not a viable option. No one residing in the 8 houses on the block had any idea whatsoever about what was going to take place until we saw the truck out there with the yellow paint on Friday morning, September 13th. Upon researching this per the minutes of the June 17th, 2024 meeting, you were told that most of the houses have driveways and the no parking would only involve one half of the block. I did some calculations and the parking is actually covering at least 85, no parking is covering 85% of the block. And also only 2 houses on the block have driveways. My concern, safety issues, large delivery trucks, many of which are the 53-foot rates with extended cabs, block most of the street while unloading. There is no room for ambulance services and fire apparatus to have throughway access during these processes. The fire hydrant that is located at the corner of 5th and Euclid, which services Euclid Avenue and the township village apartments across the street, and also the area of Kleins where there's a lot of disabled people living where there was a fire several years ago, cannot be accessed without detours. This delay could result in injuries and even deaths should there be an emergency. Infrastructure. The street is not designed to accommodate the daily physical stress of the heavyweight rigs that routinely deliver here. Broken water and sewer lines in the street can result in sinkholes and structural damage to the homes. Broken gas lines can result in explosion and fire. The trucks routinely drive over the curb and onto the pavement, which results in damage to the utilities on the portion of which are the responsibilities of the homeowners. And lastly, real estate. Our houses are now devalued. If anybody follows real estate, parking, parking, and parking. You don't have parking, that's gonna knock the parcel off your value. So that's basically what I have in a nutshell. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Next is Marie Torado, the 502 user. If you have anything else that you'd like to add moving forward, if not, we'll move on. We don't bite, I promise.
Hello, my name is Marie Torado. Just to like a couple of key points is, I mean, obviously, I'm a registered nurse. My dad, the loud guy over here, he pretty much, you know, he's very passionate, but he put me in an environment so that I could succeed. And they speak about safety, and I held safety. I mean, I'm putting myself to a standard because if something happens, EMS, everybody needs to be able to save people. I mean, we've had people that we elderly who live on our block. Not only that, the gentleman back there just purchased his house within the past year, and they talk about the value of homes going down. Parking is very important. 2 people have driveways. He does, I mean, these homes are going down in value. Aside from that, I don't have anything else to say. That's from you guys to think about everything.
Okay. It's getting emotional, but.
Yeah, I just know how hard people work to buy these homes, and when they bought their homes, they bought the homes with the idea that they can park in front of their house. We have old people that can't bring their groceries from a block or 2 down the street. Like, I watch these people, I take care of these people, and it just makes me concerned. They didn't buy the house with the idea they had to park 2 blocks away. I'm sure if he knew that, he wouldn't have bought his house last year. And the whole not notifying people, I mean, that meeting, they could have at least came and spoke their truth, speak their side. And I think it is important, if you guys wanna speak to Cobra, then maybe we can all speak to them in a civil setting. You know, because we're calling the cops and nothing's happening. People's property are being damaged. The grass is their property. It's being damaged. Who has to pay to fix that? Not them, not these truck drivers. It's these homeowners that already put their pocket out there to buy their home. They should be able to be at peace at night. They should be able to sleep and not worry about what's gonna happen the next day, all because of this company that's not really thinking about the people that live here. That's really just what I have to say.
Thank you.
I do just want to touch on, so I understand the value of on-street parking, and this was brought up in our conversations. We actually discussed this 2 months. The 5 homes that were affected or are affected, they do all have off-street parking, from what I understand. If you look at Google Earth, 2 of them have driveways. I think your house is one of them. 2 of them have driveways in the front of the house, but then the other 3 do have parking in the back.
Yeah, but now I had to take one car out, put it in the other one to bring it in the house, so I'm wasting time. If I gotta get up early in the morning, God forbid, oh, my car's battery died. Oh crap, now what do? I can't get the other car out, and I can't drive to the yard to get out, so I'm gonna get to work.
I can only speak for myself, but I think that our intent was to compromise, right? And we thought of the residents, and we also had to think of the company because they are in the community. And
We didn't compromise, because we didn't even know about the meeting, so on our behalf, we didn't get to speak for ourselves.
Exactly, we couldn't defend ourselves, and we, not only that.
it is all advertising.
If I may, our agendas are published more than 24 hours in advance of every meeting, and I'm not right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm not saying any of that, but our agendas are published on Friday afternoon for the meeting on Monday. And we did discuss this for 2 months in a row before the Board of Commissioners adopted a resolution to take the action that they did. So I'm putting it out there that it was discussed for 2 months in a row and our agendas are published.
No one told the residents of 500 block use it, which is the main problem and stuff. So this going back to, like I said, the damages on the sewage line, it's a very expensive.
What we can do is, we can schedule a meeting with Cobra, and I have no interest in being part of it. As a matter of fact, to some degree, I do take some offense that a meeting was held in private. I can assure you with absolute certainty that no meetings were held in private in order to get one over on residents.
I think. Sorry.
Well, you don't. We'll schedule an appointment with Cobra that will be open to everybody that wants to attend, and you can all come and air your grievances directly to Cobra. Okay? We'll let you know when that's going to be posted on our website, and we can go from there.
Well, at the moment, we just gave the green light for them to get on the property. So now, starting tomorrow, when the signs go up, I mean, it's getting back to damages. Once it gets raining, when it starts raining and those trucks go in there and that tire goes in that ground.
But before you suggested that you would entertain putting bollards on your property, might I suggest you wait until we have a meeting with Cobra Anchors, where maybe we ask them if they would consider installing bollards on your property to prevent trucks from driving through the grass.
How long would that process take before we had the trucks going on the property? I mean, is it going to be done for a week or,
Right, but I don't think that there are, we can't look at the intangible thing that we can't answer right now at this particular point in time. I think the takeaways for the board and for the township manager is to re-examine the steps that we took. I think we have a takeaway here to a learning experience to say, if we're gonna take such action in the future, that perhaps we need a better means of communication than what we were required to do by law. If something like this were to happen anywhere in the township, and again, I don't want to just speculate, but so we have some takeaways here. We're willing to schedule another meeting with the management of Cobra, to express again that there are continuing issues. We have a takeaway with the police department to take a good hard look at trucks that are idling. So, we're hearing your complaints, we're trying to make decisions here. Sometimes you can't just make a simple decision at a meeting on the fly, say, this is exactly what we're gonna do. We have to have some chance to kind of go back and have some discussions to come forward with a plan that I think would benefit residents. And we have to remember too, that, Cobra is a member of the community. Cobra also pays taxes to the community. So, we're trying to be business friendly. We don't want to step on toes of residents. So there are a number of takeaways here. So gentlemen, if I could ask you to both take your seats, please. We have one more speaker signed in on this. Let me just add one more speaker on the topic. It's also Carmen Torado of 502.
That's my wife.
Okay, so let's
I was getting back to what he was gonna say. If Cole could agree to put those posts out there and you can hold Steve and then Steve, whatever, they agree to pay for that stuff and
And take care of it with the town.
the township take care, they can pay for all the damage and all that stuff when it comes down, just to protect our sewage lines and stuff.
Right, they decided to.
But we're not-
Solve the problems.
I'll talk to you also a little bit.
Okay, my name is Carmen, I'm really not a speaker, I get shot, but I am disabled. And I also have evidence on my phone, pictures, videos of how trucks come and go in our property. In the past, they broke our cement. They came and they paid. We had to pay for rotor-rooters to come in, put a camera through, and the pipe was moved. He said if it gets. Another truck comes in and hits it again. It could go. And that's our problem. That's why we're all here. We're getting sick and tired of it. We need help. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Now, I know, man, it can be difficult and intimidating to speak in public. Believe me, I understand.
Just want to thank you for coming out. I mean, I didn't know this, me and Bill just got on board, it's new to us, but happy to, you could advocate. And I appreciate you coming out, especially the sword stuff, that is a expensive bill to take care of. And like you said, a meeting up with court for you guys, people that have it.
Can I say something? I didn't sign it. Can I just say something?
Should he sign up for the next portion?
Is it regarding Euclid Avenue?
Yes.
All right, let's entertain it now.
Go ahead, come up there.
Since he's gonna talk.
Give us your name and address.
Oh, Barry Shipper, 500 Euclid Avenue.
Thank you, sir.
Since he's gonna talk to Cobra about this, since this problem is resolved with us. Are you gonna stop them from putting up signs in tomorrow or this week? Because once they go up, we're not allowed to park there.
We just covered that, yeah.
No, you didn't cover that part.
I did, I just texted our public works foreman and asked him not to install the signs on Euclid Avenue tomorrow.
Okay. And another thing about the trucks highway. We called the police on that before. And the officer come out. And he said to me that there's nothing he can do about it because it's a state law. That's a lie. He can do something about it. I just was up at Rossie's today and he can do something about it. He didn't want to do nothing about
Specifically, you called him about what specifically?
it. The island,
The
and they're not supposed to idle for no longer than 10 minutes or something. And his truck was out there idling and idling. And when he like called the police on it, and he come on, he said, there's nothing I can do, it's a state law. That was a lie. There is something they can do about it.
Strictly, when did that occur?
What's that?
When did that occur?
That was about 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah. I haven't called since because nobody does anything about it. But it's not a state law, it's a state law, the local police can do something about it. But I just found that out today. That's all I got. Thank you.
You'll forgive me, I can't quite make out his last name, Mr. Rick, is it Naudible? No, sorry, not, thank you. Regarding deer hunting.
Yeah, I'll make mine very simple. First of all, I want to thank you guys for doing what you did down at the river. I don't know if anybody's thanked you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
The officers down there, it made a big difference. My only question is, at this time is, when do the permits for deer hunting go out? Or when can you apply?
We haven't chosen the date yet. We haven't, the website is just about ready, the application process is just about ready, but we have not put together a.
But it's not gonna be like last year where it sort of slipped through.
Nothing slipped through,
It wasn't advertised.
it sure was advertised on the website.
I went back after I was told that there was no permits, I saw nothing, and I reviewed the meetings on YouTube. And I didn't.
Once the advertising, once the period is closed and over, the ad goes away. They don't stay up on the website forever, otherwise we'd have.
Will you announce it at the meetings, or is it just?
We'll announce it at the meetings.
Because it wasn't, like I said, I went back and maybe I missed it, but I was going back at the meetings on YouTube.
No, I think last year when we did it, it was a pretty short notice process. I think that we got the authorization at one meeting, and by the time we had the next meeting, the process was already all initiated. But it most certainly will be on the website.
Okay, good, that's fine, just like I said, I'm older now, and it'd be nice to walk in on that trail and sit up on the hill and not have to trek through.
Yeah, everything will be on the website. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the registration process and all of it is all online.
Set of rules and everything there?
Everything's online, yeah.
Because last year, I don't care what anybody says, there was people hunting on Sunday. And
Rick, this whole thing is, we want this to be very safe for everybody.
Oh, I know.
Nobody was hunting on Sunday that was approved by us.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that you approved it, but if I'm not mistaken, the sign said no Sunday
Well,
hunting.
this whole thing, we want to be very safe, not only for the hunters, but for the residents that walk through the park.
I'm one of those.
We don't want to injure deer, that's why the police are going through a process where you have to show you're qualified to shoot a bow
Understood.
and arrow at certain distances and hit certain marks. We don't want injured deer, we don't want 50 people hunting in there. We want a very limited number, and that's why, you can apply. And we're gonna pick the people that we think are the best qualified to do that.
I have no problem with that.
But when I say this is a hunt, we have to manage the deer that are there. We're not looking to have 50 people in there to kill everything there.
No, I
So
understand.
we like the deer there. We want the deer to basically, stay in that park and not have to leave the basin for.
All I'm saying is I walk my dog down there a lot, and I take the big loop all the way around, down through the gun range, out the trail. And I've seen people hunting there during the week, starting in October.
People that are.
I've been doing it for 10 years.
People that are qualified by us.
Oh, yeah, well, no, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying
Let me talk.
that people
that
are hunting
qualified
there.
by us have a quadrant. We have the basin divided into quadrants. They're assigned to a particular part in the basin to hunt. They're just not going over, they're not driving, they're going in a certain area to hunt, and they're not hunting on Sundays. And this thing doesn't start until after Christmas.
Right.
It's the latter part, so it won't be more people are walking around the place.
Like I said, I've seen them, and I'm not saying that you guys authorize it, but people hunt, it's not patrolled.
If you see it, call it in, because we'll address it.
All right, no, and that's fine, like I said, there was one time, I had my dogs up there, I parked at the rec center. I walked up the hill and there's guys walking all in camo with a crossbow, and it was probably the end of October last year. And it's like, so, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that myself, but get in there before everybody else, but that's not the rules. But I would like to get a copy of the rules if I could. I came in on last Monday and asked, and the girls didn't have
They
it.
don't have them yet. So the website, last I was working with Joel last week, he has everything prepped and ready to go. It may not be published yet, but I'll double check. We can get the rules up. That's easy. I don't know that he's ready for the actual application yet.
Can we just have a PDF link?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's easy.
No, that's fine. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Last is Melissa Carroll, listed as MCL.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Sorry, I haven't been here a while. We're
Alright.
knee deep in renovations over at Muhlenberg Community Library right now. We're really excited. We did get our grant. We've already redid our all outside. It was painted, patched. We got our lights up. I hated having our staff there at night having to leave because all the outside lights weren't working. So we finally got all those fixed. We redid our bathrooms, which are now ADA compliant. We are in the middle of all different kinds of programs. Our fall programming has started. So September, October, November, December, please keep an eye out on your calendars. Come up to the library. We are going to be at your fall fun family fun. Fall, yeah, with our pumpkins. We'd like to thank Karen Kelly for always being in our meetings and helping us out so much at the library. Thank you to Steve for coming in, and Mr. Lurch, I actually came to one of our programs a couple months ago too. We're really excited to have him there, so.
I did, it was a lot of fun.
We've been doing a lot. We've been working with the school a lot more. We have all of CE Cole now with library cards for the community library. We're trying to help relieve some of the children going to their library. They only have a small library, and so with all the influx of students coming in, we're trying to help alleviate that. We've also been going to the high school to try to figure out their library situation as well. So we've been working with the school a lot, which is one of our goals this year. So yeah, we're just still trying to get as many patrons in and making the library a place that the community really can come and hang out and spend time, not just to read, but as a community place as well. So come on out and visit the library and.
You're also doing something with the elderly.
Yes, we have a project coming up that we're trying to get off the ground. We're trying to have some of the elder community come in and have like a gaming time. We'll have coffee, we have tea, some refreshments, come out, we'll have bingo, we have different card games for men and women. We also have a crochet collective that we've been think the last 2 or 3 months now we've been running. They are going to start making things for, less fortunate members of the community. So by having a program that has people come in crocheting and knitting and sewing, not only having them come in, but now we're also giving back to the community with that as well, which is just great. It's part of what we do at the library. So yeah, we have a lot of new programming coming up. We actually have the end of the month an immunoclinic coming at the library. So you can actually come to the library and get your shots, your flu shots, your COVID shots. We're trying to implement more things that we haven't had before that are integral to our community. So we're trying to bring more things to not only the kids, which we focused on for a long time, but also now trying to kick up our adult programming as well. So take a look at the library, stop by our webpage, stop by our Facebook page. We post everything up there. We are having a fundraiser September 23rd at Austin's and Coastal Grill, 10% of your purchases. If you mention the library and show them either the little paper online or come into the library and grab one, we get 10% of that. So go Muhlenberg Community Library. Thank you guys.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you do for the community. The library is a wonderful place. Moving on. I need a motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
All in favor, signify by, I'm sorry, questions or discussion?
Just point out to the chief, police departments, information you give the commissioners on each platoon is really, really informative, and I wish these people could see it, because a lot of people think the police don't do anything. Reading that report, they do a heck of a lot. And, thank you.
Thank you, Joel.
I think we've been probably in order of the documents that we have to look at. Just for public awareness, I mean, the document that the commissioners looked through for this particular meeting, we had 75. Yeah,
176, actually.
thank you. It's a lot, right? There's a whole lot of reading takes place. We have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Is there any unfinished business? Any new business? I would like to bring up one item of new business simply for discussion. In addition to our residents from Euclid Avenue, we did receive some information from residents living near the high school, specifically on Francis Street. There are a number of complaints, since this was emailed, just for some context, there are complaints about school attendees, specifically young drivers, parking in residential areas as opposed to taking advantage of the parking spaces that the district provides, and also parking in front of their driveways and other illegal areas, and a number of other complaints. So to address that. So address that, we've already talked with Chief Hoover about some items that the police department can look into. And Commissioner Hopmaster has already talked with the superintendent, about addressing some of the parking issue there. So more to come on that. I just wanted noted in the minutes that we did receive a complaint from the residents in that area, and we will be looking into that. Is there any other comments?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment.
You could use my phone, please. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to make a comment about that. The police, we have one. The number of shooters have 2 cops here, right? Up in, Mr. Hoover, that's up, and the cops will be out there when the schools leave out, make sure the kids don't cause no trouble, they're speeding down the street. And but they can park there, because people don't want to pay $10 park in the parking lot, they can park on that street, they can't do nothing about that, kids don't want to park in the parking lot, pay $10, they don't park on the street. But they will police it, with that, and the superintendent will make another announcement, and tell kids they should park on the parking lot, but he can't stop them parking in the street, but the police will be out there after school to check everything out. But we have 2 cops at Muhlenberg School, and they're doing a great job there with the kids love them there. Communication is great there at the school with the police at the school.
Thank you for having that conversation. Nothing else, we'll move on. New business, I need a motion to approve payments of bills presented by the Director of Finance and Customer Service.
So, second,
Questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve payment application 1 to EA Roofing Company in the amount of $39,870 and change orders 1 and 2 in the amount of $10,407.69 for work completed on the recreation building roof replacement project.
so moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I can make a quick comment. The change orders are a result of one, adding siding to the two bump outs on the side of the building. And as they were doing that, they found rotten wood through one of them. So about 50% of the change orders are required to repair the structural damage to the building itself.
The bottom line is basically the same as what they did in the end.
Well, we're not quite finished yet. They're not finished with the work with their payment application perspective, but we are so far under budget, yes.
That building, for those who don't know, the history of that building, Jim, there was a golf course in that section of Muhlenberg Township long before I lived here, long before I was even born, if I remember. And that particular building served as the clubhouse.
That's correct. In the 20s and 30s, it was known as the Riverside Country Club. William Luton was a major component of the construction of the course. The state bought it in the 40s and they created the basin, the silting basin that's there, and the township police department was operating out of that building for a number of years as well. When they were performing the renovations on the building, they actually found the original wood Dutch lap siding that was underneath underneath layers of aluminum and insulation, and they found the original wood siding built as well. Yes.
Thank you. And for residents who are unaware, I mean, that building is available for residents to rent for parties and whatnot. It's a nice building. I don't think it gets used as much as it could. But,
We earn probably more than $50,000 in rentals per year, so it's a good investment.
thank you for the extra information. Didn't mean to sidebar too far. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve $1,000 sponsorship to Crime Alert Works.
Any motion?
Second. Questions or comments? I'd like to comment. It's not a huge sponsorship, but Crime Alert Works is there for all residents to help with policing in the entire county. It also provides an opportunity, and Chief, correct me if I misstate here, but it does provide an opportunity also for different members of law enforcement across the Berks community to get together, exchange ideas, have discussions. Also for municipal officials, gives us the opportunity to get together and talk with other police chiefs and members of law enforcement, which I always find very interesting to help stay on top of what's happening elsewhere in the county. I don't know if I missed anything there.
No, you're good.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve sponsorship to the Berks County Conservation District in the amount of $500. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I hear none. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to grant conditional plan approval to the Reading School District Maintenance and Bus Depot Land Development Plan for SDI's most recent review letter dated August 16th, 2024, with all waivers and modifications as presented.
So moved.
Second. Questions or comments?
Yeah, this is a land development plan that's taking place up where at Stone Point, top of 13th Street, where the temporary FedEx facility was located since about 2020, probably. The contractor that the Reading School District utilizes or is utilizing for busing services is looking for a place to park and maintain their diesel fleet. And so Stone Point has provided the space via a condo plan, and they're proposing a maintenance garage as well as three temporary structures to work out of offices / bathroom trailers.
Are they gonna stay here for a long period of time?
What's the term of the contract, Joe? Do you know?
10 years.
10 years.
So there is-
I'm sorry, and this is Joe.
Joe Gurney on the right is the engineer who is,
I can get up and introduce myself.
go ahead.
Sure, thank you.
Again, Joe Gurney, First Capital Engineering, I'm the Director of Land Development. Here with me tonight is Todd McFarland with Suburban Management and Jim Sarah with MG Architects. So we were at the Planning Commission meeting, it was 16th of August last month. And we went through this project, the comments that are referenced here that we received on the 16th as well. We responded to all those comments on the 30th, as well as the Berks County Planning Commission comments. We responded back to the township, and we pretty much got a clean plan. So I guess the next step is the agreements, the letter of credit, and then we can get the plans signed and then go through the recording process so that these folks can start pulling building permits. But for the most part, it's kind of a reuse of the land. No additional impervious stormwater facilities that are out there function now and are gonna be used as well. So that's pretty much what we're doing. We got a clean letter. So we appreciate you guys moving us on.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
You have electric buses up there, right?
No, sir.
There's no electric buses.
Yeah. If they do that in the future, then that's a whole different.
Okay, it's not, none at all.
Yeah.
And we've had that conversation,
Okay,
both
right, that's
internally
fine.
and externally. We have.
Right.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Any other questions? Sorry, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you for the insight. I need a motion to adopt resolution 2024-04 approving sewage planning module for the Muhlenberg School District building project.
Make a motion.
Questions or comments?
This is just a normal part of any land development plan where new building is proposed and proposing connections to the existing sanitary sewage system. This is the grades 5, 6 school district building that's proposed to fit on the campus.
Thank you. I would suggest for members of the community, if you have specific questions regarding the growth of the school district, you please attend the Muhlenberg School Board meeting and raise any questions or concerns to them, as they would be the ones to address it. We do have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to adopt resolution 2024-5, authorizing the township manager and fire chief to apply for a Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission voting facilities grant.
Motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
No matching.
No, 50% match up to, so it's a $50,000 grant, $50,000 match. The last time we did this project was at Jim Dietrich Park, and our match was in kind labor. And so Alex is gonna spearhead this project. He's looking at an access point somewhere around Pioneer Grove. quite frankly, I think it'll be, the work will be easier at Pioneer Grove than it was at Jim Dietrich Park. So I don't see it being as large of an application as what the Dietrich launch was, and potentially easier for the work to be performed.
Any other questions or comments? All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Is there any other new business? All right, moving on, we have no board appointments.
That is correct.
Do we have open, we do have open seats on some of our committees. Do we have that posted to the website?
I don't think so.
Can we post it to the website, please?
You know which ones?
Yep, I have a list.
Okay. And again, just for public awareness, there are many boards and commissions made up of volunteers of the community of Muhlenberg. Obviously, we have a large community and it takes a lot to do all the things that we do, and we are always looking for public assistance. So if we can get those open seats posted to the website, please take a look at that if you're interested in becoming part of Greater Muhlenberg in a volunteer capacity. We certainly welcome the assistance. All right, this is the time for our second public portion. Is there anybody else that we wish to speak? See, we'll move on to our closing comments. Mr. Dockell.
No comment at this time.
Yeah.
Nothing is well.
Chibuko.
Just highlight quick, last month, August 2024, we had 117 calls for service, 829 for the year, so it's been steady.
Okay. And our new career firefighters are
Working out very well. It's been a big help. We're accomplishing a lot, just maintenance wise, so it's going good.
Good to hear. Keep over. Karen.
We have a couple of things. So in case you haven't driven down River Road, we are in the process of paving the Schuylkill River Trail from Laurel Run down to Kelly's Locks. Still have a couple of amenities to put alongside and dress it up, but it is coming along, which is very nice. We're also doing a parking lot for the Riverside Basin Trail that's gonna go in shortly as well. So things are moving along in the developmental end, as well as the roof replacement at the rec building. So things are happening in the Parks Department. That's the maintenance end. Program Riverfest was the end of August. We did very well. I believe our attendance might have been down a bit from years past, but overall, I think it ran well. Thank you all for your volunteer hours. And I will pass along the expense revenue for that. I apologize for not doing that prior. I will do it before I leave here today. Temple Halloween Parade is coming up October 5th, with the rain date of the 6th. Kelly's been working really hard trying to get past participants to sign up, and we were reviewing the lineup today, so trying to get that, so by the end of the week, maybe we can get those confirmations out, and then those that are still yet to come in, we can manage them within the different divisions we have. And of course, our Haunted Halloween ride is the following weekend, October 11, 12, 13, with our Family Fun Fest. So come on out and enjoy the parks.
Thank you. Jim.
To be back off of Karen's comment in regards to the parking lot at the Riverside Basin, we also executed a quote last week for the clearing and grubbing of 2 miles worth of trail. So we need to walk that trail one more time and flag really well for the contractor to come through. They want markers about every 15 feet. So we'll have to schedule that. Planning Commission meeting on Wednesday. There are no new land development plans. However, we still be meeting to discuss subdivision and land development ordinance revisions that were proposed in the comprehensive plan. We talked about the budget meeting and the October meeting. Somebody will cover that. Okay. That's all I have.
Counselor, I know we don't usually ask if you have any comments. Do you have any comments?
I just will say that I did advertise the budget meeting and the change of location of the next month's meeting, so that's advertised and.
And for fully, we're in next month's meeting will take place at the fire station. Man, what do you call it these days? Headquarters,
Temple Station.
the old Temple Station in Temple on the Town Road. Right, Commissioner Hopkins, you are next on the list.
Yeah, I just want to thank Karen for the really nice thing this year.
I don't do it alone, there are others.
And Mr. Hoover, Dr. Ted is saying, appreciate that police man being on this, is that she and Georgia kids feel a lot safer there this year. And what happened outside, Pennsylvania, and they have cops there to protect the people. That's what kids at school think about. 100%. They come up and talk to them after the shooting and want to know if they'll be safe in school. And he said they can't believe how how kids come up and talk to cops and what happened in another school out of state. And I appreciate that so much. But he told me, make sure I tell you that tonight. Okay, and like, it's just that I'm talking about next month, we get Temple Fire. People like to come up there, and we appreciate that. We're going on the road next third Monday of the month in October. Appreciate people come out and see us. Starts at 6 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Eric, you are next.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming here tonight. I see a lot of very familiar faces that come every month. For those new people, please come again. I mean, as you can hear, there's new things popping up all the time. And a lot of times you say, I didn't know this happened. Come to a meeting and you learn a lot. If you can't physically be here, this little owl here is doing a taping live, and it stays on YouTube. If you put in Muhlenberg Township Commissioners, you can hear what goes on during the meetings if you can't be here. So YouTube, Muhlenberg Township Commissioners. I plan on doing some work on the rail trail to kind of dress it up a little bit, some of the flower beds. If there's anybody interested in helping, be a couple hours worth of work, not sure what day, but see me after the meeting, or you can text me, email me, steve@yahoo.com, if you're available. I'll try to make it as much as fun as you can. Maybe get some flowers and put some, make things look a little nicer. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Cerulli.
Thanks to everybody who came out tonight. The residents on Laurel Lee, you're gonna have a new road sooner or later. And to the residents on Euclid, I definitely think this board has some takeaways, some things to learn from for the future. And hopefully we can put some work in and get that resolved. So that's it. Thanks for coming out.
Can you sort of notify us when, Cobra,
There will definitely be communication. Yes.
Like the website, or like, how would you notify us? Through the website, are we supposed to keep an eye on that?
If all of your contact information is on this sheet that we can contact you, we can do it via what we have here. If it's not, I would encourage you to put at least an email address and a phone number so that we can reach out to you.
Just so that we're all on the same page, it's clear, the yellow line is remaining there, which means we should not park there even if there's not signs up. Or we can.
The signs will not be installed. I didn't hear back from the public works foreman. The signs will not be installed tomorrow. A yellow line is just a courtesy to those who park there. The police cannot enforce anything based on a yellow line. They have to enforce based on signage that's been adopted by resolution and or ordinance by the Board of Commissioners. So as of now, no, there will be there will be no signs that are installed tomorrow on the south side of Euclid Avenue. That is your question.
So we can.
Yes.
Just like you were all weekend, you do the same.
And if you see trucks parked on the north side of Euclid Avenue, it's called the non-emergency police line. Please do.
Sure.
I would ask that if there's something in progress, that you call the police. We respond to calls based on priority. Although parking in your neighborhood may be a priority to you, and I understand that, just like it is in mine. But for the police department, we have life-threatening emergencies that we have to go to first. It's not to say or to minimize the situation that you're living with. The other thing that I would ask is that for any time, any encounter with a police officer that you feel that you didn't get the service that you deserve or that you expected, call me. Don't let a problem fester for 3 years because one time or even a few times you did not get the service that you felt you deserved. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand that you guys have more priority, more higher crimes and stuff like that. We don't want to take time away from you doing more serious stuff. But we also want to take consideration, hey, we have an ongoing situation where these trucks is getting their advantage of it. I just want to make sure that probably doing something about it. It's important more, or how even closer, maybe check people in, say, hey guys, you can't park here until it's time for you to back in. That would be a help towards you guys. Absolutely. If they will come out and say, hey, well, that's information for now, we don't take it come in until 8:30. You will try to come back to 8:30. I'll have to stay here for now. You're wasting your time.
So if I may, to wrap up our evening, I'm a liaison to the police department, and if at any time any resident feels that they are not getting the service, if they feel that Chief Hoover is not responding or Jim's not responding, my email contact information is on the website. There's a lot of information on our website. I think our website is laid out very, very nicely. It's fairly user friendly. I mean, you can always contact one of the commissioners directly through email if you feel that you're not getting a response. I meet with Chief Hoover, maybe not weekly, but we probably talk at length at least once every 2 weeks. The police are very, very busy. We are a very busy township. And, we do take every contact seriously. In fact, case in point, we had 4 balls running loose in my neighborhood on Saturday, and we had to have an officer come out to address something like that. And he was out fairly quickly, but that's because there wasn't something more serious taking place. And there is almost always something more serious taking place in the township. So again, it's difficult to say at any given time what's taking place, but calls are addressed. But if you feel that you're not getting the support that you need, please reach out and let us know. I will tell you that Chief Hoover is very, very responsive. And he has staff meetings with our lieutenant and sergeants, and they discuss things at length. The reports that we see are very, very thorough. Our police department is very, very busy. The chief just completed a 5-year plan for the board to look at in conjunction with our upcoming budget conversations. And it's not just to take a look at the number of officers that we have in Muhlenberg, but to take a look comprehensively at the types of crimes that we're having, the types of support that, we need to be able to give residents, the things that we project will be happening in the future, and how we need to adjust to that. Everything from, new weapons and new cars and new technology. So there's a lot of it in the plan. And that's not to say that the rest of our department heads don't do those things, but this was a very thorough plan. So, so we do take these things very seriously. In conjunction with that, I'd like to remind everyone that our budget meeting is coming up October 19th. It'll take place here. It's Saturday, beginning at 8 a.m. Our budget meeting is the single most important meeting that we have. There's a lot that goes into it. Our department heads began the budget process some time ago. There will be a lot of discussion. There's a lot for the board to consider. Everything from the services that we provide, to the types of hardships that our taxes place on residents. And please remember that we are all residents, so we all pay taxes too. So you're all welcome to come to that meeting. In closing, I'd like to point this out. I had the honor last Monday of addressing Reading City Council as a member of the Pagoda Foundation Board. If you've never had a chance to look at, watch, or attend a city council meeting, members of the community, you either have to sign up ahead of time to speak, or like tonight, you sign when you attend the meeting. Residents are given 5 minutes to talk about agenda items. They are given 3 minutes to talk on non-agenda items. The president of city council has a timer, and when your time is up, the microphone is turned off and you are asked to sit down. There is not the type of interaction that you have when you speak in one of our meetings. We do ask residents to be mindful when they're speaking. But we try to extend as much time as possible to residents to talk. And I want to thank everybody for being civil tonight. And I know that the topics that you come to speak to us about are very heartfelt. I know they affect your day-to-day lives. And we are not unaware or unsympathetic to those things. I will tell you truthfully that there are no secret meetings that take place. We are very cognizant of sunshine laws. And we are very cognizant of making sure that we do publish the things that come before the board, you know, in an orderly, law-abiding fashion. But again, as I said earlier, perhaps there are some takeaways that the board can discuss when we have to consider and how they affect the residents. So I want to thank you all for your civility tonight. And again, we will take your comments to heart, and we will do some more investigation, and you know, we will have another meeting on some of those issues as well as other issues that are brought before. So I thank you all for attending, and as Mr. Wolfinger said, I hope to see you again. That is all. We are adjourned.